To the bullion company I've asked about before, I do need to be careful with my words as the matter is now before the National Corruption Commission. The question all along has been, did ASIC give the company so much warning of the audit that the company was able to do two things? Buy the bullion they were charging customers for storing but hadn't bothered yet to buy, move bullion around to misrepresent their stock. Since we met on this issue, another whistleblower has come forward to testify they were personally involved in moving bullion around to defeat the audit, to bypass it. My question is, did you allow for the chance of and defeat the moving of bullion to rig the audit?
So perhaps I will answer that question first, Senator Roberts, and I'm then going to pass to my colleague, Mr Savundra, because you have raised an issue about the National Anti-Corruption Commission, which is a most serious allegation.
It is.
In relation to this issue, as you're aware, ASIC has conducted an extensive investigation in relation to various allegations of a particular gold bullion company. We have done everything that we would normally do in an investigation, Senator, and certainly reject any suggestion that anything inappropriate has been done or people tipped off, I think, to use the language in your question. But I am going to pass, with the Chair's leave, to Mr Savundra now to deal with some of the other elements of your question.
Thank you, Senator, for the question. You raised the matter of a referral to the National Anti-Corruption Commission, and I wanted to put some information on the record regarding that. So late last Friday, ASIC received correspondence from a complainant.
My question has been...
it's important,
Senator Roberts, I'll give Mr Savundra the call. Mr Savundra.
Late last Friday, ASIC received correspondence from a complainant well known to ASIC. The complainant has submitted a number of reports of misconduct to ASIC relating to a particular entity. His original report of misconduct was investigated by ASIC. It required the expenditure of considerable time and resources. ASIC has an open investigation in relation to a further report of misconduct from the same complainant relating to the same entity and other entities in the same industry. ASIC is close to finalising this aspect. Again, this has required the expenditure of considerable time and resources by ASIC. ASIC has corresponded with and met the complainant on several occasions during this period. We've also responded to about 40 Freedom of Information requests from the claimant and 5 FOI requests, which we understand were authored by the complainant but submitted by someone else. In total, ASIC has spent more than 650 hours responding to these requests. ASIC has also responded to 4 questions on notice from this committee and other committees in relation to the matter the complainant is concerned with. In correspondence from the complainant last Friday, he indicates that he remains dissatisfied with ASIC's conduct of its original investigation and states, as you've mentioned, that he has referred several ASIC officials to the NACC for investigation, including Deputy Chair Court. He states this is in addition to his existing referral of the former Deputy Chair, Karen Chester. He indicates that he will also be providing output of his work to multiple committees within the Australian Senate and the Australian Federal Police. The complainant also states in the letter that if ASIC did not, by 5 p.m. that same day, indicate its intention to meet with him, he will be informing the Australian people of the real truth of ASIC's investigation. The complainant says that he has been working full-time for an extended period on these issues and refers to reports he has drafted that span many hundreds of pages and contain many hundreds of exhibits. ASIC was provided with a copy of the report and supporting material yesterday afternoon. We will examine that report. We understand this material has been referred to the NACC and will be referred to the AFP and no doubt other agencies. In the covering letter, the complainant requests that ASIC, amongst various other requests, formally engages him and his team to undertake further investigation into the entity. We assume the complainant is seeking for this to be occurred on a paid basis, and we note that the complainant has previously sought payment from ASIC for the work he has done to date. We have advised the NACC of the issue. We recognise the important work of the NACC and will, of course, fully cooperate with any investigation it proposes to undertake. The complainant has also made a number of speculative allegations relating to ASIC's conduct, including via social media. Based on the available information to ASIC, these allegations appear to be baseless and lacking in credibility. Despite this lack of credibility, ASIC has dealt with the complainant's reports of misconduct seriously and on their merits. As I mentioned at the outset, given the complainant indicated he'll be providing the material to multiple Senate committees, we feel it is important that the committee is advised of ASIC's awareness of this issue. To assist the committee, we'd like to table a copy of the letter from the complainant dated 31 May 2024. We have redacted the names and other identifying information of the complainant, his lawyer and the entity which is the subject of the complainant's reports of misconduct.
Well, thank you for that. But I'll put my question again to you. Since we met on this issue, another whistleblower has come forward to testify they were personally involved in moving bullion around to defeat the audit. Question, I'll read it again. Did you allow for the chance of and defeat the moving of bullion to rig the audit, to enable the rigging of the audit?
Senator, if you have information from a whistleblower, we'd be grateful to receive it. Based on the information available to ASIC, we believe we have thoroughly investigated the matter and the audit was conducted appropriately.
Thank you. I'll just put I know Senator Bragg has done a marvellous job in holding ASIC accountable, and he continues, as I understand it, he continues and is relentless in doing that. I've just been vindicated with accusations I made against a very powerful entity in this country, not inside of government, but associated with the government. After 5 years of denial, they have now admitted that what I've said is correct. 5 years. So just because someone's persistent. Okay. Now, I want to ask another question.
Senator
it's now been found...
I'll need to share the call.
I'd like to come back, please, because I'm not going to put these on notice.
How much more have you...
Depends if I get an answer like I did last time or if I just get an answer to my question.
Okay.
Shouldn't take too long.
ASIC has allowed the room to provide a statement in relation to some of the questions that are coming, but let's work through what you've got left. Senator Roberts.
You're the Chair.
Yes, indeed. The committee will table the document provided by ASIC.
I just finished my questions.
Yes, I just want to give an indication, Senator Roberts, that when you say that someone's been referred to the National Anti-Corruption Commission, that it's a serious allegation. It's a matter for you whether you wish to do that. Obviously, to invoke the National Anti-Corruption Commission here in this hearing.
In my earlier question, you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you moving on from that now?
Yeah, I'm moving. Same topic, a bullion company, but I want to get on to other questions, which shouldn't take too long.
You have the call.
Thank you, Chair. It's now been found that the bullion inspected was the property of 3 companies operating 2 investment schemes. Were you aware that your auditor was inspecting bullion belonging to 2 companies not under investigation?
Senator, I'm unable to comment further on this issue of the bullion company. If you want to put questions, I haven't got further information beyond that.
So you're not saying you won't answer, you're saying that you haven't got it with you?
I'm saying...
Okay, we'll put it on notice.
Perhaps if you put questions in relation to this issue, I think it relates to... well, I'm assuming that your questions relate to a continuing investigation that Mr Savundra referred to, and in those circumstances it would be appropriate to put those on notice to make sure that we can answer them.
Well, I'm talking about the audit. The audit. So I'll continue with questions to the audit. What steps did your auditor take to ascertain ownership of the bullion being offered as theirs? What steps did the auditor take?
Senator Roberts, I think it would be preferable to take those questions, I'm afraid, on notice. You're asking for details of an investigation. We've given evidence previously that the matters raised in relation to the bullion company have been extensively investigated.
So they should be easy to get answers. Was the theoretical stocking figure provided for the amount of bullion just for one scheme as compared to gold from two? My information is that it was.
I'll take that on notice, Senator.
The facility that held the bulk of the bullion did not have council approval for a secure storage and in fact was not a secure storage. Why wasn't the company prosecuted for charging customers for secure storage that didn't exist?
I'll take that on notice also.
Can you answer that now? Are you able to? Because
Well,
in Senate estimates, the guideline is that you will answer if you can answer it now.
I think, Senator Roberts, there is this other ASIC inquiry underway, and in relation to operational matters, ASIC does from time to time provide information to senators in another forum where we can be very assured that appropriate structures are put around the information that is provided. So when Ms Court says that she's taking it on notice, that is appropriate in relation to this investigation.
This one, okay. Will you now please set aside your pride and open up this investigation, work out what was done wrong and what action should be taken for misleading ASIC?
Senator, I think I've already said I'd prefer not to answer further questions. I think part of the challenge with answering the questions in the way that you're putting them is that it assumes the correctness of the proposition in your question, which of course ASIC takes issue with. We reject that there has been any misconduct or by ASIC in relation to this investigation. It has been conducted extensively over quite some time, as the Chair has indicated. To the extent that you wish us to address you on these issues in camera, then of course we would be willing to do that if the committee seeks that briefing.
Okay, can we do that? Yep, I just finished with the last question on this issue. I have put in more detailed questions on notice, and ASIC has received the information I mentioned today directly. So I look forward to further communication on this matter, and we'll take you up on the offer for the in-camera briefing. Thank you.
Thank you.